Howdy, folks. How's it going? My Blues. My Blues. Has everybody seen the result with my Blues before I drop any spoilers? Blues. How's everybody doing? We're here for Brumbies and Canes. But, yeah, the game hasn't started yet. They always say 9:45, but we know it's nonsense. We know it's nonsense. But, yeah. I can see Junaid is here. How's it going, mate? Are you not in the country at the moment? I was just trying to catch up on the chat. Simon's along. Xavier, man, how's it going? Kai. Victoria. Back in your Canes to get a win. Frankie's been watching some MotoGP. George wants to know what channel it's on Sky in the UK. I'm not sure, but someone will hopefully know. Yes. The mob is here indeed, Kai. Good to see you all. Hope you're all going good. Hope you're enjoying your weekend, wherever you're at. Well done to the Blues. Thank goodness. That would not have been fitting, with all due respect to the Highlanders, for a team with a 4-10 record to go through against 13-1. Nah, that wouldn't have been good. But yeah, thankfully that kind of worked out for my Blues. Kind of an easy watch in the second half, to be fair, which is not what you want from a knockout match. It's supposed to be tight, but anyway. Time for the Canes and the Brumbies soon. Admiral, yes, mate, I'm a pretty happy chappy. Wasn't too happy for the first 20, but other than that, I was alright. Darramundi, man, the Blues took the sword to the Landers, as they should, man. Like, it'll be a point in mind at some point when we do a season wrap-up. 8th team out of 12 shouldn't be in the knockout stages. I'm going to jump on that bandwagon, but yeah, it's probably true. It's probably true. James Cody is in Madrid. Hope you got good weather there, man. The guys are just about to come out of the changing sheds by the look of things. Red card changed everything. Yeah, you might be right. It's funny. Like I looked at both of the halftime reports on Facebook for the Blues and Highlanders game. You look on the Blues Facebook page, everyone was like, how was that not a try to Akira? Clearly grounded. And then the Landers one was people just saying, like, how is that a red card? Can't be a red card. So, yeah. Some things never change, eh? But anyway, we'll see. Victoria's prepared for the Canes to drop this one. Will it be 4 New Zealand teams in the semis? Honestly, for the competition, I think it's better for the Brumbies to win. But I got the Canes gear on, so there you go. I'm kind of on the fence. Yeah. Ducks Quack, man. How you going? How you going? Gareth has come on the team. Which team? Feel any player gets red carded should suffer the consequence game, but not after the game. Interesting take, man. 20-minute red cards. We hadn't seen one for a while, but we certainly got one in the last quarter final. LRR, mate, how's it going? Team's still not on the pitch. Jules. Yeah, happy with the Blues, to be fair. Jules, pretty much. Apart from the first kind of 20 when they were looking a bit rusty. But, yeah. Maybe Super Rugby should look at the finals for next year. Top 6 should be in the finals with the top 2 getting the first week bye. Honestly, man, if I do any kind of season summary evaluation, that will also be my exact suggestion. My 2 cents on what the finals structure should look like. The Blues finished top and ended up playing a rubbish team like their B team, C team, which still won in that final round for that same reason. Whereas if they'd had a bye, you get that reward for finishing top and you don't have to feel the need to, to devalue the competition, essentially, right? So Yeah, you don't need teams who finish in the bottom half coming into the playoffs. They both got knocked out, so yep. Yep. So yeah, my take would be the same. Reward the top two teams with a bye, and then see how you go. I'm just on the Tui tonight, Alaran. It's got the trivia, so I bring the Tui. What can I say? $150 caps for TJ is quite the milestone. Gazza is convinced he's not going to be in the All Blacks. What do Canes fans reckon? I don't know. Gazza keeps hating on him every time I see him. But anyway. Alaran's thoughts exactly top six only. Yeah, I get what they're doing. It's the same logic that saw Super Rugby expand to its biggest state. It's just more games. Like, more teams qualify, so you get more games. But the whole thing that Super Rugby maybe hasn't learned from is the quality of the games need to matter, right? Like, if it's a quarterfinal, it's supposed to matter, but neither of those last two went down to the wire. So, I don't know. They just want more games on TV. Nov Mum's happy the Chiefs got the win. The Chiefs did really well. Definitely. Up the mighty Blues. Nice food takeaways indeed, man. And we've just had kickoff. And this one. Why do I have no sound? Maybe that's a good thing. Because it's on mute. I'm a tech genius. There we go. You get better sound when the thing's not on mute. Kai says, to me, Andrew Makaleo's was blatant direct contact with the head, plus no arms. I would have thought that's not a very negotiable one, but nah, trust me, if you jump on the Facebook page of the Highlanders at half-time, someone's like, that was never a red, and people are commenting like, exactly, ruining the game. So, same, par for the course. 40 seconds on the clock for those looking for a time check. April Tui, kia ora, how's it going? 50 seconds on the clock. Canes and Brumbies. Where's TJ going? Oh, well, he's supposed to be staying, but my dad just doesn't reckon he's good enough for the All Blacks anymore. So, yeah. Easy red for Ducks Quack. I thought so as well, but maybe that was my Blues hat on. I don't know. That Blues game, April 2. I know, right? Started off a bit of an arm wrestle, but Blues too good. Right. It's all Brumbies. No, sorry. I mean, it's all Hurricanes so far. No knock on. Paul Williams is the ref. Not my dad's favourite, but then who is my dad's favourite? Even when he's sending me messages not for you guys, he's same deal. There's not much different in his messages. He pretty much just says about the ref as well. A lot of drop ball in both games tonight. I don't know about Hamilton, but Auckland has been wet all week. So it doesn't surprise me that the ball was pretty greasy. No way anything in that stand was dry. My front yard is still wet, even though the sun's been out pretty much all day. It's been that wet. Not the best turnout rugby rundown. Yeah. None of the games have been sold out thus far. But then even Ulster and Munster didn't sell out up north, so yeah, the financial pinch is hitting everybody. Britannia says no Sky coverage. Who knows the channel in the UK, guys, for Sky? I'm sure it's on. They've got the rights. It has to be on. Yeah, TJ's looking a bit ginger. What's going on? TJ limping. Paul Him's not my favourite, says Minsu. Yeah. I don't know. It's on Premier Sports. What? How is that possible? I thought there was a deal with Sky. Sky Sports Action in the UK, says April 2. That makes sense. I don't think it's on Premier Sports, is it? They don't have the rights, do they? Jordy with the big shot. Man, he's nailed that. Wow. That's a big old kick. Good settler. He nailed that, man. Wow. Long distance, bit of an angle. No problems. Milestone caps seem to have a bit of a bad omen. Yeah, actually, you're right. There's been a few guys in their milestone games who have been getting defeated. Ooh, big wide ball. Julian Savia was thinking about that one. But no. Back for the penalty. Britannia's got it fixed. Good man. Where you've only missed 5 minutes. So no big dramas. You missed a long penalty from Jordy Barrett, but otherwise just on time. Up the Blues, Nomad. I mean, yeah. They did pretty well, didn't they? They did pretty well. Happy days. I should have gone to the game, but it was wedged between these two games, so with all the commute time, I would have been playing absolute catch-up if I'd gone. But, yeah, we'll see. TJ was disappointing against the Force. Spent a lot of time arguing with the ref. Not like TJ. Do I detect a little bit of sarcasm there, Simon? TJ. Not arguing with the ref. Yeah. TJ arguing with the ref is... I mean, he's a halfback, so yeah. But it's pretty common, isn't it? Flesh and Bro, how you going, sir? We're 6.5 minutes into this game. Brumbies have got a penalty. So I'm assuming Lolaseo's about to take a crack at the sticks, but you never know. Brumbies need to win to make one Aussie team, otherwise it's just New Zealand teams for the rest of the tournament. Hanley, I'm kind of in that mindset as well, that the competition will be better off if the Brumbies are in a semi-final. It certainly looks a bit better if it's 3-1 rather than the 4 top New Zealand teams in the semis. Yeah. Halfback's top duty is to talk smack to the ref. Essentially, they're around the ref a lot, so... Right, Brumbies have levelled. Not long later, to be fair. April tourist in Wellington, I would want the Canes to win, but it would be nice to see an Aussie team. So you kind of win-win in that situation. If your Canes win, happy days. If they lose, you can just take solace in the fact that the competition's represented by an Aussie team. Nigel Owen saying that Aaron Smith would make a great ref. A lot of I was gonna do a video on it. I don't think I ever did it, but there was a while I was taking notes of former players that became refs. I think the majority were halfbacks. I could be mistaken. It's a long time since I had that idea and started jotting down some notes. There's a few guys who played and then had pretty decent refereeing careers. Interestingly, none of my favourite refs are former players, though. So, weird how that kind of works. Picks, Elleron, I think I picked all the home teams. What an intercept by the big lock. But no, immediately concedes a penalty. More support in the Blues this year. April 2, we will take that all the way to the bank. Blues have been playing some good rugby, so yeah. Nick Berry's a former player. Yeah, Nick Berry, Paul Williams. I mean, what's his face? Who's coaching with one of the sides now? What's his name? Glenn Jackson. I never liked him as a ref, but he played for Yonks. There's a lot of former players. Jordy Barrett's getting some booze. Can he get this one? It's a wee bit closer. He nailed it. He's got the kicking boots on tonight, which is, there goes my pen, pretty ominous. Brumbies won't win the penalty duel. No, they will not. Yeah, it is looking like there's a bit of rain, Elleron, so that could affect things as well. That might also be why there's fewer people there. Did TJ knock it on? I thought so, but I think the ref mentioned it, right? Don't know. Interestingly, Paul Williams seems to be a pretty common rugby name, because there's Paul Williams, this ref. There's Paul Williams, a former Samoan international, and there's Paul Williams, a rugby writer in Wales. So Paul Williams is a pretty common rugby name. Bizarre, huh? If the Canes win, it's a Blues rematch. Yeah, I believe so. So will they have a bit of confidence being the only team to have knocked off the Blues thus far? Or is that ancient history? I like to think it's ancient history. Paul Williams, okay, ref, don't like him that much. Yeah, I've never been hugely fond of him. But, I mean, I'm not really that fussed as long as they don't get in the way too much, eh? Try to get most of the things right. Williams is a pretty common name in Welsh. Yeah, for sure. You can basically get a team out of Williams, Davis, I don't know, what are the other ones? Jones, Morgan. That's pretty much a team, isn't it? That's pretty cool, though. Hey. Even if the ref is wrong on that one, when he says no, no, it means leave it alone. Used to be two horse racing commentators with the same name, both commentating in England around the same time. Jeez, is that right? I don't think I've had anyone with the exact same name as me. Like, even in my school, there was only one Mark. Not usually mistaken for anybody else. Edwards, yeah, Fleshing, you're right. Edwards is another one. Can you make a team out of Staines? Probably. I've done it with Smiths, but it was a stretch. I struggled to make a 15 out of professional Smiths, but I did it a couple of years ago. Just barely. A lot of them I'd never heard of, but some positions you just couldn't find enough Smiths. Ten phases, these gains. Xavier just wants to carry that ball, eh? He's such an awkward ball carrier, eh? He's all elbows. Some useful information for Kiwi friends. David Pocock is now a senator. I saw that. He got in as some kind of independent candidate. We don't have an upper house over here, so I'm not really sure what the senators are supposed to do. I mean, I know the state, most governments have got two houses. It's New Zealand that's one of the rare ones that only has one. Xavier is difficult as hell to take down. Though, yeah, man, that's what I mean. Like, he's all elbows. He's kind of twisting and writhing, and he looks unconventional, but he's really hard to bring down. You're right. The Brumbies are actually doing a pretty decent job of containing him. 17 phases. They finally get the advantage. What do they got up their sleeve? Cross kick. Bro, that was on a dime. That was pinpoint. Jordy's boots. Man, the Canes are in a mood, folks. The Canes are in a mood. That was a hell of a kick. All he had to do was catch it and fall over the line, and he didn't muck it up. Well done. Well done. Early days for sure, but the Canes have started the game pretty well. Victoria's ahead of me. That can't be right. I'll skip. Nope. I'm at 17-11, so that's where I'm at. Elrond's agreeing with Crazy that the Canes are hot. They are indeed. He's missed that conversion though, but they've been by far the better of the two teams in the first. How many minutes are we at? 17. Simon's about 40 seconds ahead of me. Yeah, I always mention it. It happens because I stream, I stream the games. It's worse if I'm on the TV. Somehow. How good is the theme? Morby, yeah, he's been really good all season, He's been a bit of a revelation. So that's happy days, man. Keep finding more depth. Even old Tuivasa-Sheck had a pretty good game today if you watched the Blues game. I was just thinking I wish we could unearth a midfielder, but we've got a pretty good looking one. I'm not saying he's the real deal, but he looked pretty tidy. Big kick. What do the Brumbies got, man? Big up and under. It's too big. Although Banks puts in a good tackle. Good kick chase. RTS is overrated, but that doesn't mean he didn't have a good game tonight. He was real good. He's just got a big reputation, I think. People have been expecting miracles out of him from day one. I think he planned his return to rugby pretty well, and that he was supposed to get a Mitre 10 Cup season under his belt first, but that ended up not happening with COVID, so he's kind of had to find his feet at Super Rugby level, which is a bit unfortunate. Nah, Stephen, I didn't go to Eden Park tonight, nah. Mainly because the game was squeezed between these two games, the Chiefs and then this game. I would have missed basically the second half of the Chiefs game and the first half of this game to get there and back. The commute to Eden Park kind of sucks. Because you either have to drive and park a mile away, or you take public transport, and guess what? Because it's a long weekend, there's no trains on this week, so no weekend this weekend, because they're doing maintenance, and the buses, which are usually their replacements, they said they don't have many drivers. I'm guessing partly with COVID. So yeah, they even said, not many buses and no trains, so do what you're gonna do. So yeah. Oh, the Brumbies are just getting nailed by the ref. And they're seemingly pretty ineffectual at the breakdown. Here we go, Morgan. That's terrible, Victoria. Yeah, man. Like, they basically just put their hands up and said there's not much public transport. They said you got free tickets with your match ticket, but the trains aren't running and there's not many buses. They just said, like, with limited drivers, services to the stadium will be limited. So, yeah. Not ideal. Am I thinking about coming to Australia for the 2027? Right, if I don't get to the World Cup in 2027, someone needs to delete my YouTube channel, because if I can't make it to Australia, I don't deserve. Like, France is going to be too much, but if I can't make it to Australia, something's wrong with me. I've literally got family I can crash with, and a few people on this channel have offered their couches to me as well, so yeah, I have to make it. Have to make it for 2027. I think we can lock that in. Right, we're going to have a TMO check on a tackle on Aiden Morgan. Oh, Quito. He's in trouble. Elron reckons it's red. Sam reckons it's yellow. He's not low enough to mitigate. If he's hit his... Sounds like it's going to be red from what they're saying. That's going to be red. That's going to be red. Morgan Tuanui reckons it's going to be yellow, but that looks like it's going to be red to me, but I've been wrong before. Red. Direct contact to the head, force, no mitigation, Kai. That's pretty much it. Well, that's not done the Brumbies' hopes any favours. Play the rest of the first half with a man down. Yeah. Still 20 minutes for a red mark. It is indeed. So the Brumbies will come back to 15 in the second half, early on. But yeah. Henry reckons the Brumbies are done. Certainly not done them any favours, but we've seen a few weird games this season where teams have gone down, and either the team that's got the man advantage has just started playing rubbish, or vice versa, the team that's gone down has started playing really well. Is it desert or dessert? Desert. It's a tui, which is a New Zealand kind of mainstream, pretty standard beer. It comes with trivia on the bottle cap, which is kind of what I'm about. I like the old trivia. It's 3 points to 14, folks. Europe, we don't have that raw red card. Should be 20. I can see the arguments for both, eh? Honestly, there's been a few games that I've watched more in the Premiership than in the URC. I've been watching a few in the Premiership where I was thinking, man, if that's in Super Rugby where they've got the 20-minute red, it's a red. But because it's a permanent red, the ref has kind of weaseled his way out of finding some kind of mitigation to make it into a yellow. You know what I mean? Like, the process is supposed to be the same, not the outcome, but as a ref, you're still human. So, I think mostly Carl Dixon, though. He's a bit left field with some of his calls, but anyway. Jezza, man, I watched your game this morning. Pretty good stuff. Your back three was pretty deadly. I'm a pretty happy Blues man right now as well. And I would imagine all the Hurricanes fans in the chat are pretty chuffed with how things are going too. Oh my goodness, the Brumbies actually got advantage. I don't believe it. Well, wonders never cease. Do I watch much European rugby, Xavier? I've been watching a lot. Yeah, I've been watching a lot. 20-minute red card makes it easier for the ref to give a red, Simon. I agree. Now, you could argue that's a good thing or a bad thing. Oh, is Frank's going to be in trouble now? Is that... Did he make any contact with his head? Why? Not going to be good. It's going to be 14 or 14 most likely, but for how long? For the 20? Or does he go cheek to cheek? It looks... Oh. Anyway. Tackle with his head. That's kind of what it looks like. Doesn't look good, says Jules. That's my first reaction as well. The crowd is livid. Is there as much force in it? It's more like face on face, but face on face is still red. But is there as much force? Goodness me. Possible head contact. It's not quite as obvious as the last one. So the head contact is the secondary contact. Otherwise it's kind of shoulder, is what they're saying. Defender's upright, he's in trouble. Shoulder, shoulder first, and the head contact's secondary. So yellow. Yellow. Yeah, Sinead, man. Where you been? I know you're busy. Are you overseas at the moment, mate? Franks. Owen Franks on Lolosio has been yellow carded for a high tackle. I think it was Paul Williams the other week who didn't mitigate for a real significant drop. So, I don't know. Sometimes he's a hard one to... He's a hard one to ping. We need a decision clock, 1 minute. Once they stop the game to make a review, make a decision, get on with the game. Isn't that kind of what the bunker's like in NRL? And everyone tells me the bunker's shit. Excuse my language. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Super Rugby, or at least Rugby, TMO takes often a long time. Whereas the bunker, they're supposed to be really speedy. Which one works better? Like, which one gets the decision correct more? You should do polls in the chat during live streams. I'd have to figure how to do that out during Streamlabs. I have seen some polls and they're hard to minimize. They kind of piss me off when I'm watching them. But yeah, a poll on the card colour would have been useful. Oh, the Brumbies punish immediately with a try. Try Brumbies. The bunker is way off. Okay. Brumbies punish immediately. That's exactly what this game needed on 14 of 14. Big Maul, of all things. That's game on. Then the game needed this. Yes. The question of on-site versus centralized is interesting for TMO bunker. Because, yeah, the NHL also does, like, they have the bunker thing in Toronto, right? They don't do it on-site. Simon doesn't watch the NRL. Yeah, I don't really watch it either, so I don't know. The bunker takes quicker than a TMO. Okay, my impression is that it's fast. But enough people in here complain about it that makes me think it's often wrong. Is this guy, who's going to take the goal kick? Is it going to be Nick White? Yeah, it is going to be Nick White because Lolosio's off. Important kick. Bunker is quicker but worse. It's the balance, eh? What do you want? Do you want it fast and inaccurate, or do you want it drawn out but maybe gets the right result? Off the post. Eight points to 14. Do I think I'll do streams for State of Origin? I had talked about that. Eh? When is State of Origin? We talked about that being a potential one. It'll be teach Mark the rules of league, because I got no idea. It depends. Do you want speed or correct? Sometimes you can't have both. Jezza, I think that's essentially the conundrum, eh? Yeah. Rugby takes the attitude that they'll take as long as they need to get it right. But they do take too long. It's faster, but they make mistakes too. Okay. Well, that I guess that makes sense. If you're going to ask people to do things in a hurry, they're going to make mistakes. Wednesday is Wednesday? Oh. How does that work? Do they usually play that on a Wednesday? State of Origin is easily the most popular sporting event of the year at Papatoi High. It's also very big when I was in school. Guys who I know don't even care about sports will be getting into arguments with people about whether they support New South Wales or Queensland. It's like, neither of you like sports. What is wrong with you? It's just like being on a team. Being in a freaking north side, west side or some stuff. I don't know. Sinead says 26 likes with 73 watching. That's true. Please appease the YouTube algorithm and do me a favor. YouTube loves likes. I don't make the rules. That's just how YouTube works. It essentially recommends more content to people when there's more likes on it. It's engagements, comments, likes, higher view duration, all that jazz. The algorithm loves it. State of Origin is one of the biggest events in Australia. It's big enough in New Zealand as well. I really don't follow league. Basically, not at all, man. I mean, I know the teams. If you told me a team, I would know approximately where they are. Right? I think. I don't think I would know any of the players. Not really. Junaid, yeah, Nick White had to do the kicking because Lolesio went off for an HIA after the Franks tackle, which saw Franks carded, and he pushed it just into the post and it bounced out rather than in, if that makes sense. Where are the Knights then? The Knights are from Newcastle. There you go. I had to think about it for a second, but I got it. Balmain Tigers, that's also in New South Wales somewhere. I'm assuming around Sydney. Most of the clubs are around Sydney, seemingly, as far as I'm aware. But then again, I used to think Geelong was part of Melbourne, so what do I know? How about the Dolphins? There's no Dolphins. Come on, man. You're trying to trick me. Right, in terms of this rugby game, we're at 30 minutes and 33 seconds. The Brumbies are camped on the Canes line. They need another score while Franks is still in the bin. Here we go. And they got Ivanish Simone, the man who's leaving at the end of the season, goes over. The comeback is on. If you stream Origin, I guarantee to do the $1 per like. Oh, man. The Dolphins join next year. Okay, so there are a Dolphins team. I literally did not know that. But I guess I'm still technically correct in that they're not a team in the competition yet. I'll weasel my way out with that one. Man, the Brumbies needed this big bit of play, didn't they? New franchise coming next year. Where'd you say they're going to be? Redcliffe. Where's Redcliffe? You'll get so many more viewers on the stream as well, I imagine. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like most people would drop in looking for the game and being like, "Hey, show the game, fuckhead." Excuse my language. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like by this point, I don't really get that on Union much anymore. Have you noticed that? When I first started doing streams, every stream, I used to put it in the title, in the description, like, not showing the game, not showing the game, not showing the game, because so many people are looking for the game. I need to update the score, by the way. I'll do that now. Yes, I feel like I'll get that with the league thing, but anyway. Redcliffe's in Brisbane. Ah. As in Brisbane. Like, is it a suburb of Brisbane? Like, give me a New Zealand example. Is it like the North Shore? Because don't they already have the Broncos? Are they going to be taking fans away from the Broncos? How does this work? State of Origin stream would draw in league fans and then be confused. Yeah, I worry that that may not end well. I'll need to think of an appropriate title for the video. Like, Union fan watches State of Origin for the first time in, I don't know, 20 years. I literally haven't seen it for probably that long. I think there is another Brisbane somewhere in the UK. Sinead's asking, the Brumbies in the lead. They were, and now they're not again. The Canes have just kicked a penalty. So the lead is changing and Franks is coming back on. Was the try scored during the bot invasion? Just after. The Brumbies made the most of the yellow card by 2 tries, but they then conceded a penalty. 15-17. Be interesting to see how many Broncos fans take to the Dolphins then. Dolphins. Is Redcliffe known for its Dolphins? Where'd that name come from? I think Dolphins, I think Miami. Dolphins. And there's a rugby team in Japan called the Dolphins as well. Lolasio's come back on. He must have passed his HIA. That's a bit of good news. Felicia is actually in the Maroons' State of Origin shorts at the moment. Oh, just the shorts. Okay. We got trivia or Gaza Blues review at halftime. Not that it matters for you, you can't hear anything. Can you not even hear what I'm saying? Oh, Sam, bro, cheers. I thought I'd get you with the Dolphins question. Cheers, man. Well, you certainly got me in terms of I'd never heard that was happening. I knew that wasn't a current team, but that will be a wrong answer next year. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. Good to know. I've learned something today. There's a new NRL team, the Dolphins. Have to get behind them. I do have Gaz's Blues messages that I have not listened to, so I could grab those. Goodness me, it's the ugliest scrum you've seen. Ref says play it, nobody plays it. Cheers, Sam, bro. No, I appreciate that, man. Wednesday for NRL. I'll have to make a note of it somewhere. I'm pretty notoriously bad at not planning things out. Where do I write it? Like on my hand? Send myself an email? Lip reading and no, I can't not hear what you're saying. Sound is off because I'm in a function that's stupidly boring. Okay. Poor you. Sorry to hear that. Why are you at a function at this time of day? Bizarre. Uh-oh, here goes Morby. Bro. That guy's a gun. That guy's having such a good season. Kai's doing the 9 days until doing the shave for leukemia. You're going to shave your head, bro. I probably could because I wear a hat half the time anyway. But I've never shaved my head fully. I've done like a number 2 and it looks unbelievably short. I hate to think how going to 0 looks. Oh man, he's good. Morby is the fullback for the Hurricanes, and he's very good. Have you seen me without a hat? I think so. I've taken the hat off every now and again. Maybe I'm wasting the fact that I haven't gone grey yet and I've still got my hair by covering it in a freaking hat all the time. Does my stream only show the Brumbies score? I can see the Hurricanes score. Conversion off the posts. Is that going to be a penalty? Off the post. 22 points to 15. How many likes at the moment, Junaid? I can't actually see, but we've got 71 viewers. Right, half time. Half time. Zach's going to both semi-finals. Man, that's commitment. That's full-on commitment. At least we know where they're both going to be. Right. Oh, trivia. Here it is. As always, just try your... This is one that if you don't know it, you might as well guess, because someone's going to know this one. I think the people who know this will beat the Googlers. So, yeah, here we go. Trivia question is, what is Tiger Woods' given name? What is Tiger Woods' given name? It's a bit of a doozy. What do I do with my phone? Don't unplug anything. Eldrick what? Mark knew it was Eldrick. Jizza knew it's Eldrick. I also thought it was Tiger. Eldrick. He's got another name apparently. He didn't pick Tiger. The Tiger picked him. Good morning from the USA. Thanks for bringing this to us. No worries, man. Alistair says Eldrick Tont. And yes, that's the answer I have. Eldrick Tont Woods. Tont. Man. No wonder he's called Tiger. Just saying. Eldrick. I think he was called Tiger because of his Thai mother. The power of Google, but what is Tont? I don't know. I didn't even know Tont was a name. Thoughts on West Husson heading to Edinburgh? Edinburgh's going to get a pretty fine player. Right, let's have a look at halftime match statistics. Tiger Woods is called Eldrick, apparently. Apparently, he is called Eldrick. The things you learn on the bottom of a trivia beer cap. Possession 42-58 to the Canes, but territory 68-32 to the Brumbies. That's quite a split. Will there be a review on the AB squad once it's announced it? Yeah, well, for sure. We got to have a look at the AB squad. You know what my dad said to me? I'll send you my dad's message. I'll play my dad's message for you guys in a second. My dad said to me the other day, he's like, I want to do a video about the AB squad. Because, you know, he likes jumping on a video every now and again. I was like, cool. What do you want to do about it? And he's like, I want to do like a prediction on like some of the guys Ian Foster might choose. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. And then I go to see him and he's got a piece of paper and he's like, so I've got a list of guys here. I've picked 75 guys. And I'm like, 75 guys? 75 guys? Holy shit, man. How can you pick 75 guys? Like, you've got to narrow it down. And he's like, well, I've picked like 35 guys. Plus, you know, a bunch of guys who are like cover in each position. And then in case there's injuries and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not the way it works. You can't pick like 75 guys. That's just like a list of like, who do you think is decent at rugby? Like the whole point of, like the whole thing that makes predictions interesting is who do you leave and who do you drop, you know what I mean? Like if you just pick everybody, that's not really a video. So I sent him back to the drawing board with that one. Anyway. Yeah, and Junaid is apparently a pretty good lip reader. I picked the entire New Zealand Super Rugby roster, pretty much. That's pretty much the Gazza logic, so yeah. Yeah, it's like 30-something with a few guys injury cover, so yeah, we will see. Alright, I'll grab myself another beer, and I will play you guys some of Gazza's musings. Oh, goodness me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 minutes of Gazza. Someone will have to keep Junaid updated because he won't be able to lip read. Here we go.
Yeah, well, we made hard work of it, but, the score says itself. I mean, the Highlanders were brave, gutsy, gave us a hard game, but to be honest, they weren't in it. Class beats, class of determination will beat, I'm not going to call them journeymen because I think they're better than that. Will be guts and, strong-willed people. I mean, they obviously haven't got the players to beat us, but they gave it a pretty good shot. Now, the red card that Malaka got, well, he's an idiot. He laughed when he came off the field. Jeez, mate, if he did that to me, I wouldn't be picking it for my super side next season. He'd be on the bloody, the back boat to China on the backwaters, mate. Yeah, he's a good hooker. He's an idiot. And we'll leave it at that. We'll let that.
Shots fired.
Yeah, we're going to get to our mate Angus Gardner. Well, he didn't cost anybody the game, but, the second half he was lecturing the front rows. He made a bit of a mess of the scrums. His breakdown rulings, well, they were okay. I thought his line-out rules in the second half went to the crap a little bit. He obviously doesn't know when guys are offside because the Highlanders are offside quite a bit in this game and he let them get away with it in the second half in particular. So that's my moan about him. I'm still going to give him a 12 out of 20. Whether that's been generous or not, well, he had a really mixed game. Like Nick Berry had a mixed game. The things he was good at, he was good. But the things he missed, well, they were terrible.
Okay.
Horrible. So Berry and Gardner better than New Zealand rest. Well, I think they referee slightly differently.
Mm-hmm.
They may be a little bit more consistent. But I don't know so much. They just referee it differently to us. But, they have their weaknesses as well. So, Berry and Gardner get 12 out of 20, but, I wouldn't want them to be doing the World Cup.
12 out of 20.
If the All Blacks are in it.
Okay.
The Blues, well, they're brilliant. They took their chances. They got class, talent. Everything. Now, they had a lot of time. They had a bloody lot of trouble at scrum time tonight, and that bloody Otago, that Highlanders framework was good. They should have put Nudafaki on earlier, and he's going to front, so they need to replace him for next year. Fakatava played all right. The Highlanders didn't play bad, really. They played, to their maximum. And the red card cost them a bit, but even with that, we still would have beaten them. Maybe not by nearly 30 points, but 20 anyway, is what I predicted. So where do the Blues go? Well, they're going to play the Brumbies or the Hurricanes, and if they play the Hurricanes up here, I think they'll win. Mm-hmm. The Brumbies, they're a bit of an unknown quantity. I quite rate the Brumbies. They've got a few injuries at the moment, so that might help us. But, they're one of these niggly, bloody, clever teams that slow the ball down and, make life hard for you. And they've got some really good players and experience. And that always counts in the big game. So I think the Blues will beat them, yes.
Okay, good.
But not by a hell of a much. The Blues, I think, will beat the Brumbies. Will they beat the Crusaders? Well, they're going to get past the Chiefs, which, Chiefs are a bit of a bogey team for the Crusaders, but I think the Crusaders will beat them, to be honest. But you never know, like Mono Pacifica did the Brumbies. You never know, you're lucky in the big city.
Yeah, Crusaders at home are going to
So
be
that's
tough.
about my take on that. It was a funny game. You know, there was a lot of mixed points in this game, and the Blues have got good defence, which is good. And Makatui had a good game. You know, is he an All Black? Well, I don't think he's an All Black yet, but he's certainly one for the future. Fakatava, he'll be in the All Blacks. I'd pick him. He's good. Tony Brown, yeah, well, I wouldn't be too disappointed with that tonight because I thought the Highlanders, even though they got beaten by 20 plus points, they played some pretty hard, physical South Island rugby.
South Island rugby, okay.
You know, they can be proud of themselves. They came to play, and that's what they did. The Blues just got to keep doing it, and they should make the final. Will they win it? We'll wait and see. No predictions. Gazomania, Roger Mania, over and out.
Okay. I don't know what's the deal with his scoring system where it's always out of 20. I think the range of his scoring for referees is like bad game, 10 out of 20. Average game, 11 out of 20. And good game. Well, he never says good. But you know what I mean. For his scoring good, 12 out of 20. That's pretty much the range. Yeah. Stronger Kiwi accent activate. Yeah, Gaza does have a very kind of traditional Kiwi accent, I think. And yes, April Tui, he's probably a good example if anyone wants to, like your daughter wants to work on the old Kiwi. Can I just clip it? I don't know if I'm able to clip these messages, eh? It doesn't really let you save them from the app that we use to talk to each other. So, I guess I could, like, record into the microphone. Yeah, there's gold there. There's certainly gold there, that's for sure. But, yeah, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star aileron, pretty much. I think he puts the odd 0.5 in there, like 11.5, but that's, again, just like 2.5 stars, isn't it? So, yeah. Tomo's not enjoying the commentators. I usually find Morgan Tuanui the best of the lot. He usually speaks the most common sense when some guys like Justin Harrison tend to get a bit patriotic. But he called the cards wrong for this one, which is unlike him. April Tui's accent is still a bit Kiwi, just with a bit of English ruining it. I've always had a weird accent. I'm surprised yours is still as Kiwi as it is. No, when I was in uni, there was a German guy in our class, and one of the Kiwi girls thought I was the German guy because of the way I spoke. I was like, I never even lived abroad at that time, so don't know how that works. We're lucky Harrison is not on tonight. He is the worst of the lot. He's a big cheerleader, which is it's a bit grating. Yeah, he always just assumes every decision against the team that he's backing is wrong, which is yeah, like I said, it's kind of a bit grating. Right, second half is not too far away. Definitely sound Kiwi. Okay, good. My accent definitely got a bit muddled when I was living in China because I was around Americans and Canadians and Australians all the time. So, yeah, it got muddled. Guilty of bagging the ref on too many occasions. It's bloody hard to ref accurately. Oh, I know. I try not to do it for that very reason because I know there's so much going on. And like Alaron said earlier, Gaza was complaining about the offsides, but to be fair, he's right. That's more the linesman these days anyway. It's a refereeing team effort. Right, 4 minutes and 35 seconds in. 4 minutes, 40. And TJ asks for a penalty, and he gets it. It's Fainga who gets pinged for that one. Stream cricket someday. Bloody hell. How many hours have I got? Cricket. NHL finals are coming soon. We're already into the semi-finals. The conference finals. They don't call them semi-finals. So, maybe I could do some ice hockey. Be fun. Although I'd be a little bit cautious because some of these, I'd have to be careful how I word it again. Not to use any official titles because you can get in trouble for that. YouTube algorithm will help you with cricket. It's a long game. Maybe. It might bugger the watch time. I don't know. Many Indian fans, that is true. It's a big market. Man, Jordy Barrett has got the ball on a string tonight. He is just killing it with the penalties. That's a 10-point lead now. The Rangers are ahead 2-0. I think the Avalanche are ahead of the Oilers by the same margin. So, my other half has been here 11 years and some people still don't understand his Irish accent. I swear the Irish and the Scots just don't lose their accents. Probably the Welsh as well. I'm not sure. I haven't worked with any Welsh when I was over here, but I've had an Irish boss, an English boss twice. My workmate's dad was Scottish, and he'd been here like 30 years and still sounded like he just got off the plane. Your wife asked if I was South African. Goodness me. I did work with a few South Africans, so... Junaid, second half is started. 43 minutes. Jordy has to be the AB's 12. Long range boot, too valuable. He's got to be in the team somewhere. I mean, Bodie's not even kicking goals anymore. So... if Bodie's the form 10, you need to have Jordy in the team to kick the goals. And Jordy's been playing well this season too, so he's there. Most English people think we're South African or Australian. Yeah, my brother did a Kontiki tour and corrected people that he wasn't Australian about 30 times before he was like, stuff it, yeah, I'm an Aussie. He couldn't be bothered anymore. My dad lived in the UK for like 30 years and the NZ accent still comes out from time to time. From time to time. Yeah. I swear though, like Scots and Irish though, it's all the time. I don't think it doesn't seem to dilute. Don't know. Yes. But now it's 44 minutes. Junaid, the lip reader. I'm torn with regards to Gus and Victoria's conversation about the ice hockey because Tampa Bay's won it the last 2 years and I would love to see someone else win it. But I would not like that someone else to be the Rangers. I'd much rather the Oilers or even the Avalanche to win it. A bit of handbags between Ala Alatoa and Perenara. What was going on there? Morgan Turinui is saying Paul Williams got that one wrong. He might have. No worries, Junaid. Jordy on the wing with Reese on the other wing. The only thing I really like about Jordy as a winger is he's tall and can take high balls. I don't like much else about him as a winger. Would like a Canadian team to win a game, Flishin. A Canadian team hasn't won the NHL for a very long time. Hanjo, watching any of the URC games coming up? Not tonight, but I will watch them when I get up tomorrow. It's a yeah, it's a big day of rugby. Sunday. I'll be watching them on delay. Oh, he's talking about Jordan. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Will Jordan, for sure. Will Jordan on the wing. But Will Jordan, I prefer at fullback out, but then if you're not going to play Jordy at 12, then you probably got to play Jordy at 15. So, yeah. Originally from Detroit, tough to get behind Colorado. Yeah, fair enough. But, yeah. I don't really have anything against the Rangers other than that I ended up following the Islanders. So that's just the team I'm not supposed to want to win. But given that I'm not there, it doesn't really matter that much to me. Rico slotting into 13 with ALB's injury. I think he's in pretty decent form. Maybe that's another one I can run the numbers on, though. I like looking at the stats, you know me. The All Blacks midfield is certainly a big question. $18 points to 25. D-Mac's height comes into play at fullback. Yeah, some guys can make it work, though. How tall is D-Mac and how tall... Let me have a look. Damian McKenzie. He's 176. Oh, yeah. I was thinking Hugo Keena's not that big, but he's 9 centimeters taller, which is a fair bit. Damien's extra short. Hugo Keenan's actually pretty tall. He just looks small. But he's not short. Britannia, the 2 cents community aren't fans of Tupaya. They believe he is shit. Tupaya is a big unit going forward. And he's got a decent enough handling game, offload game. He struggles on defense, which he would probably be exploited at test level, because he's already getting exploited a bit at Super Rugby level, but he's not shit. He's still a very young man. Really thought the Leafs had a shot this year, Gus. I'm very glad the Leafs are out. The only joy that I can have after my Islanders did not make the playoffs was the fact that the Leafs went out in the first round again. Tupai's had a really good last few games. And nice fit says he needs time. Yeah, I think sometimes we expect guys to be phenomenal from day one. I mean, even look at Jordy Barrett. He was rushed into the All Blacks too early. To the point where he was almost like a meme. He was kind of a joke at times, right? Just with his muck-ups and brain fades. But now he's like a pretty key part, man. So, yeah. Players get better. Tupai won the game against the Box by his defense. Yeah, I guess the Box attack was a bit more direct. Maybe that suits him. Be interesting to actually look at opponent by opponent, wouldn't it? I know I've run the numbers on him this season at one point, and his numbers were pretty bad. Pat, man, how's it going? Scotty CO, yeah, I think it's a good move. It's his last game for the Brumbies if they lose here, so bring him on, see what impact he can make. Right now we don't have a fixed solid 12. Havili had to move there because Jordan stole the 15 jersey and Recent Bridge took the wings. And Havili is an okay 12. I'm not really convinced by him. He's a good playmaking 12, but he used to be a bit more defensively frail, but I do think he's gotten a bit better. But he's not really a big ball carrying 12. He's not a huge offensive threat. Again, I would like to run the numbers on him. I've got the numbers. I'll do it. I'll have a look at the All Blacks midfield at some point. See how they compare. Anyone have a clue how long it takes to recover after having your appendix removed? I know Bongi and Bonambi had it done in 2018, I think. He was out for ages. He missed at least half the Super Rugby season. Was it Bongi? Or was that later? One of the Stormers hookers had their appendix out. I don't think it was Ramon Samuels. I think it was Bongi. Will Fozzie keep his job if they lose a test against Ireland and New Zealand? Yep, because he's contracted through to the World Cup. He will definitely keep his job. Unless he resigns. I don't think they'll fire him. I don't think they can afford to. Although they just get that Silver Lake. They got all that Silver Lake money, so maybe they can afford to. Don't know. Jordy's going to have another shot at goal. This game feels the most like a quarterfinal compared to some of the others. Silver Lake sucks. Well, they're going to have to increase the All Blacks and New Zealand Rugby's profit by a fair bit to make up for the money they'll be taking out. So, yeah, we'll see. Oh, he's missed another one. Jordy Barrett's kicking boots are starting to fall to bits, folks. Is there a bit of hope for the Brumbies here? When has been absolutely too late for a coaching change before the World Cup? Well, Michael Cheika took the Wallabies to the World Cup in 2015 with... It was less than a year. What does the Silver Lake thing mean? Silver Lake, the investment people get 7 or something percent of New Zealand rugby. So every year, 7% of the cash goes to Silver Lake, and in return, New Zealand rugby got a couple $100 million. And Silver Lake's investment is supposed to have them running some commercial arm of New Zealand rugby, aimed at basically getting them to be a more profitable organisation. They got all these experts and ideas and whatnot, so yeah, they're going to run New Zealand rugby like a proper business. Apparently, that's what the official story is anyway. But yeah, it means that to make it worthwhile, they're going to have to increase the profitability, because you've sold 7% of your business. Brumbies need to score next, I think. If the ABs don't win the World Cup, we'll have a repeat of 2007 with Henry v. Deans. I reckon Fozzie will go. I think Fozzie's going to be a one-term guy. I don't think Fozzie will stay. I thought that's what they were paying their actual board and staff to do, just employ the type of people. I honestly don't understand it either. Like, who are the people you've been employing thus far to run your business? Just like former rugby players? Oh yeah, a lot of former rugby players. That's true. But it seems to be a bit of an old boys club, New Zealand rugby. They like to tap people on the shoulder and give them gigs in return for their, giving to the game. But yeah, being a former All Black doesn't necessarily make you a great business mastermind, I would have thought. How much time left? We are at 57 minutes and 50 seconds, so still just over 20 minutes. The Canes have just knocked it on. It's as slippery as a bar of soap out there, man. It's piddling down. One of my kids is crying. Which one? The big one or the little one? I'm going to say the big one because he's a bit sick. He doesn't usually cry, but he's been feeling pretty miserable. He's running a bit of a fever. Contest in the air. Jordy's not looking too comfortable. Did the big one play? It's a long weekend with Queen's birthday, so no games on this weekend. Who would the Box rather play in the quarters, the ABs or France? Who would you rather play? You'd probably rather play Ian Foster's New Zealand than Fabien Gaultier's France, right? I think. Yeah. Yeah, Jordy's looking a wee bit uncomfortable. He's limping. Paul Williams is giving him the hurry up. He's a tough cookie. He'll keep going. Think about the Blues game, bro. It was pretty good. Tough first 20, but apart from that, the Blues are pretty tidy. Can our ABs please stop getting hurt? Yeah, Jordy's going off the field in a canter, so hopefully he's all good. What about Scott? He's a big unit. He's an even bigger unit. Yeah, Bodie's the small one, which seems hard to believe. Would I rather the Blues play the Brumbies or the Hurricanes? Oh, the Brumbies gave us a real hard time in our last game, but then the Canes beat us, so probably the Brumbies, because there's probably more players who haven't won at Eden Park there. Hurricanes used to beat us at Eden Park for fun. $92 in the chat. How many likes? I'm not sure, man. I don't know. Bodie's a big dude, and yet he is the small one. Scary, right? It's the Samoan James that keeps the Pirates getting them big. I know, right? I've seen that on social media as well. Dan McKellar wants them all. Dan McKellar wants them all, but his captain opts for the 3. The Pacific countries are playing the Pacific Nations Cup, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. $21-25, 4-point game. Anyone's game. Yes. But man, if the Brumbies concede, if they can't exit, they need a good exit here. They've been conceding too many pens at the breakdown. But this time is not that time. They need the try, Jules. Yeah, I guess there's still time. But Dan McKellar certainly wanted them to go for the try. Right, here come the Canes. It'll be interesting to see who Faz picks for the tour of New Zealand. Yeah, your boy James Hume is looking the business, isn't he? But that Irish midfield is looking pretty crowded. Oh, Morby's put that one out on the full. And remember, Jordy was missing some kicks. Oh, the wheels are starting to come off a little bit for the Brumbies. Brumbies? Canes. What a shank is right. That was a shocker, that one. Line out move for the Brumbies. Whoa, Samu just got smashed. That's the first mistake he's ever made. Maybe his first. I'm not sure. He looked as surprised as everybody else. Maybe he just doesn't like... I mean, yeah, he kicked it before in the first half and he drilled it. Yeah, Jezza, your Irish midfield is stacked for midfield options, whereas that's the one area, especially 12, where the All Blacks have got a big old question mark. Can the Brumbies score here? Simone taken. 6 phases. It's messy. Lolosio has to step in to take that one. Banks backs himself. Brah. The comeback train is on. The Brumbies have just gone in front. They might check one breakdown to make sure there was no knock on, but I don't think it was off anybody's hands. Junaid, 64. 64 minutes. All this comes from Morby's bad kick, unfortunately. We haven't seen a lot of Rayasi at the moment, eh? Could Michaeli Tu'u get in with a shot at the All Blacks? I mean, I suppose so, but yeah, like you say, there's so many guys. Who's ahead of him? Probably still Satutu, Jacobson. I mean, the fact that Dalton is injured, Blackadder is injured, and Kane is kind of half injured, although different positions, but yeah. Yeah. Best quarterfinal so far? Yeah, I agree. Genuinely, 2 teams playing a close arm wrestle game. This is what quarterfinals are supposed to be like. He's nailed that one. 28-25. Good kick from Lolosio. That was a pressure kick. That means the Canes can only tie it with a kick. But we've still got 14 minutes. Rayasi, is he going to run? Yes. And he gets smashed. And he gets penalised. Love the video on the sevens for the AB Super Season. You'd like to see a peak Richie season stats and compare them to that. Oh, peak Richie. Oh, I'd have to dig through the archives for that. What year is a peak Richie year? What's the policy if they're drawing at full time, Thomas? I don't actually know. In the regular season, it's been extra time. I would imagine it's still extra time in the knockout stages, but I'm not sure what happens if extra time is also tied. Ooh. It's the little one, not the big one. She has some hilarious dreams. I once went in when she was crying. She was yelling, "No, no, no." I asked her, I gave her a hug and I was like, "What's wrong?" She's like, the chickens are biting me." Oh, Lonergan's shanked that one. It's time to lose a bit of momentum. And she said the chickens had teeth. So there you go. Nightmares about chickens getting some bites back. Is that going to stifle the momentum? Allard, bro. You're missing the best game of the lot. It's 12 minutes to go. Was that one of the videos where you had to go through hours of stats that hurts your eyes? I have to do stats piece by piece, yes, otherwise it hurts my eyes. Apparently she has that dream as well. Yes. Chickens biting her. Savia just offloaded the tackle and gave it to the Brumbies. I've been watching this a little hungover. Alright, cheers, Ellard. We'll forgive you. Yeah, you can probably hear her faintly in the background. The house is not very big. She's just down the hallway. There's literally one door between you guys and the hallway to her room. Yes, of course, Sinead, you're right. The Tars loss will drive a New South Welshman, or in this case a Welshman, to drink. How much time left? We're at 69:48. Clock has stopped. Savia knocked it on. There's an injury, so yeah. Has your daughter been watching the Hitchcock movie? No, I don't think so. I'm not sure where that came from. She also sometimes gets into imaginary arguments with her mother, like my wife. She'll be like in bed sleeping, going like, "No, mama, no, don't do that." I'm like, she's pissed off at you. What did you do to her? She doesn't say no, dad, or no. So I must be the favorite. If he's going to kick it and drop kicks it, what's the issue? I guess the fact that people only usually drop kick in open play if they're taking a shot at goal. So if he lost control and drops it to the ground and then kicks it as a consequence, then that's still a knock on. Whereas it's a bit different from an intentional drop kick. But yeah, you're right. The intent is the only difference. Your house is the same as ours, very basic, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Probably. Our house is like a rectangle. Living room with the kitchen, and then bedroom, 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 bathroom. It's like 80 square meters. Which in New Zealand is pretty much, I think that's about as small as 3 bedrooms get. What can I say? I was lucky to get a house in Auckland with it's got 3 bedrooms in it. Are you the softie and mum has to lay down the rules? Hell no. I am not the softie. I mean, maybe I am actually the softie in terms of, well, maybe I am. But I'm both. I don't know how that works. I am also the law. Yeah. I'm the one that sends her to bed if she doesn't finish her dinner. And then gives her the dinner for breakfast the next day. The look on her face when I give her yesterday's unfinished dinner for breakfast is priceless. Tough cop and tough cop. I think I'm soft cop, tough cop. My wife reckons I'm softer on my daughter than I am my son, which probably is true. Right. The Brumbies are pretty content to keep the Hurricanes pinned down their end. Oh, charge down! Oh, Banks couldn't free the hands. Rouse, he played it on the ground. He's going to get in trouble? No. It is a yellow card. I thought so. Yeah. Are any South African teams left in Super Rugby? Nah, just they're all gone. 5 teams from New Zealand, 5 teams from Australia, plus the 2 Pacific teams, although one of the Pacific teams is based in New Zealand. But if you've seen the Tongan and Samoan squads that have been announced, they're stock full of the guys who play for the Moana Pacifica side. So hopefully those teams are getting a bit stronger from being in that Super Rugby competition. Right, here's do or die for the Brumbies, man. You got to score here. I think if you score here, it's going to take a bit of a Kane's miracle to come back. Brumbies have shown a lot of guts, Jammin, mate, for sure. They looked almost, not quite, but almost dead and buried in this one. When I was in uni, a uni lecturer checked himself in his marking and found he was marking girls more nicely than boys. Corrected himself and brought the boys' marks up by 5%. I'm definitely harder on my son than I am my daughter, that's for sure. But it's also because the carrot and stick, like the stick doesn't work with my daughter. It makes her worse. So you got to kind of give her the stick that looks like a carrot, or beat her with the carrot. Is that a try? Did he get it? More handbags. Look at them jumping in. Artie, Tom Wright. Oh, look at the handbags. They're loving it. Bro, why do these teams hate each other so much? What am I missing? Wow. Brumbies have always keeping touching distance. What was the biggest gap? 10 points. Yeah, 10 points. So still just within touching distance. 2-score game. How did Tom Wright get through there? I don't think Tom Wright liked having an extra roll on him from Proctor. Didn't know it had already been scored. Poor game management from the Canes. They went off the boil, eh? Once it really started piddling down. Dunno. Right. Can he get this kick? It's 8-point lead. Oh, he's nailed it. Good kick. Good kick. Now they're up by 10. Do rugby refs swallow the whistle for the playoffs? You're talking about the NHL, how they let more stuff go? I don't think so. Oh man, the Brumbies are just going to keep them pinned back. That's too big. It's got to sit up. Nope. Too big. Hopefully my touch tourney goes better this week. Hopefully my touch tourney goes better than this weekend. Oh, did you guys get beaten? Never seen us win at Eden Park. It'll be a challenge, assuming you guys can hold on for the next 4 minutes. But honestly, how hard did the Brumbies push the Blues last time they played? It's that bloody drop goal that was the difference. Oh, better than this game. Ah, okay, fair enough. I thought you meant this week for your team. There you go. Advantage for the Canes. Artie wants the 3. No, he's changed his mind. He called for the sticks straight away and then had instant buyer's remorse and decided to go for the sideline. Three minutes. 10-point gap. Need 2 scores. If they got a magic move up their sleeves, now's the time to play it, but the lineout's messy. It's wet. Two and a half minutes to go. Hurricanes have got advantage. You can try a trick play, cross kick, something nuts. Blake Gibson gets smashed. They're going to go back for the penalty. Hurricanes need to move their butts. Brumbies just need to keep holding. Sinead is doing me a favor. 116 people in the chat. Like the stream. Do it, man. It's invaluable. YouTube loves likes. Please, do me a personal favor. Click the little thumb up or the thumb down. It's all an engagement to YouTube. Right, 40 seconds and then will be 1 minute remaining, if that makes sense. Vannon always likes, good man. Oh, they've messed up the line out. That could be the game. They needed to score there. They needed to score. Ta'avao with the big... Oh, sorry, Ta'avao. Why do I always call Ta'avao Lomax? Goodness gracious. Lomax Ta'avao. Is it the beards? Like the sideburns things they got going on? Oh, that's game. How many likes at the moment? I can't see it, but 110 people watching. 35 seconds to go. This game's done. Canes have knocked it on. Yeah. Brumbies can book the flights. Book the flights to Auckland, folks. Mika Elitu or Peter Gus. Start of the season, I would have said Peter Gus by some way, but I think not so much in recent weeks. Well played, Brumbies. Better game management for sure. I think Pete Zamu just said, fuck yeah. Game is over. Banks kicks it into touch. Wow. Brumbies live to fight another week. 10-point deficit. And they've managed to overturn it, man. What a good comeback. That was a good game, man. That's what a quarterfinal is supposed to be like, not 35-6. So, yeah, good game. Good game. Aussie is still represented, and I think, like Jules says, that's good for the competition. I'm sure Elleran's chuffed for for some reason. I don't know. Your Chiefs are still in the competition, so you guys need to do us all a favour and beat the Crusaders next week. But anyway, there we go. Certainly the closest of the 4 quarters, and it's supposed to be because these were the 2 teams that were like only 1 position away from each other, so it does make a bit of sense. So yeah, alright folks, we will call it here. Well done to the Brumbies, commiserations to the Hurricanes. I'll have to change this bloody jersey, but yeah, anyway, we'll see how things go next week. Brumbies have got a job to do against the Blues. I'm hoping they can't do it, but yeah, they'll enjoy this win for now anyway. Take care, folks. I will see you guys again for another one. And yeah, go the Blues. Take care, folks. See you later.